Hi, my name is Martin Quintana from Quintana Law Group, and our law firm specializes in the areas of criminal defense, both state and federal, and also the personal injury and workers' comp and medical malpractice cases. I think the best advice I can give somebody is to never admit to any guilt or fault. So, for example, as you get pulled over by the law enforcement officer, I think it's always best to put your hands on the steering wheel, which we call 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, because I think police officers have a lot of respect for a driver who they can see their hands. You got to remember that they're coming upon a scene where they don't know anything about specifically you as the driver. So you want to stay at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock with your hands. That way the officer can see your hands. And basically you're telling him, look, I have nothing to hide, and I'm not doing anything squirrely, and my hands are at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and that starts, in my opinion, it's a good introduction, if you will, so that the officer knows you're not doing anything that he might have to worry about. Number two is going to be where you're going to have an officer who's going to then ask you questions. For example, he could ask you something to the effect of, good morning, do you know why I stopped you? There's no reason to admit fault or guilt. Simply say, no, officer, I do not. Step three would be, once he's going to ask you questions. For example, the common question is, may I see your driver's license and insurance card or registration? Those items should technically be very easily accessible to you. So I recommend at times to people, make sure that if you carry everything in your wallet, ask the officer for permission to reach for your wallet. So something to the effect of, officer, would you mind if I reach for my wallet to provide you the documents that you are requesting from me? And that officer should have a great amount of respect for you and say, sure. Now you're making a slight move to your wallet. Once you're able to produce those, which hopefully will be without fumbling or anything else for that matter, you will then hand them to the officer, and the officer will typically take a look at your name, where you're from, and might even ask you a question like, where are you coming from? Because at this point, he knows where you live. So if you live in, say, for example, Cook County, and you're in DuPage County, he's going to start asking questions just to kind of gather information. He has every right to do that. At one point or another, if he does ask you, where are you coming from? I mean, if it's harmless, for example, if you literally just left maybe your son or daughter's home or a friend's house, and you want to give that information, it's harmless, by all means, you can give it to him. But, for example, what I don't recommend is you say to him, oh, I was at the local bar. Obviously, we don't want to give them information regarding a self-incriminating statement. The bottom line is, you're always best to simply say, nothing. Officer, I really don't feel comfortable answering that question at this point in time. So at that point, once he's already made the observations of whether or not if you had bloodshot eyes, or he might say that you have slurred speech, or any of the observations he's making at that point, and especially if you say to him, I'm coming from a bar, I'm coming from a party, I think that it's going to be pretty safe to say that that officer is going to want to get you out of the car, and then he's going to want to do the field sobriety test on you, which, first and foremost, you have every right to reject. You do not have to do the field sobriety test. A lot of people are unaware of that. You do not have to do the field sobriety test. So that's important. You don't even have to give a reason for it. You can just simply say, officer, with all due respect, I decline to do the test, or any test for that matter. You're better off doing no tests. For example, not blowing into the breathalyzer, not doing any field sobriety tests. Because at that point, if you're going to get arrested, it's going to be based on the observations such as whatever at this point he has, which is not going to be much. It's going to be red, glassy, bloodshot eyes, probably slurred speech. Possibly he's going to say you fumbled through your wallet. He's going to be probably going to say you're slow to respond to his questions, or worse, that you admitted to consuming alcohol because you were at a party or what have you. This is Martin Quintana of Quintana Law Group. Please feel free to visit our website at qlglaw.info. Our office number where we can be reached is 312-233-8313. Feel free to call us anytime. Thank you for listening.